just want to relax, but then you have taken this time to come to this event to listen something on health. That's really a first step towards towards your good health. Because once you are aware of what other different modalities are there to take care of your own health, once you are aware, you can always implement that, right? And thank you so much for that. I start my session with a thanks because you all are there, and thank you also to Aurobindo to give me this chance to present this system of Ayurveda. It has been my passion last 23 years plus. I've been practicing Ayurveda, and it's like my second breath now. Like the way I breathe Ayurveda also. Always I take this opportunity any given time to talk about Ayurveda. And here everybody thinks Ayurveda is an alternative system, and I disagree here. Because Ayurveda is an ancient system, I agree. It is more than 5,000 years old, which was not written, but rather remembered. Remembered. It was already remembered by rishis and munis, which is eternally there. It is not experimented and written down. That is the greatness of Ayurveda, and we are very, very lucky people in India. We are born in a land where Ayurveda is the prime, was the prime, and now if taken an opportunity can again become the prime system of medicine. Of course, I do not say that there are other medicine systems are not good, of course not, but rather I would say every system is good, and I believe we need to go together. The whole system of approach of holistic healing is extremely important, because every system has its own strengths, has its own weakness, and when you understand what is there in which system, you can always choose the best for yourself. And Ayurveda has some very, very unique points that people are not aware. People think Ayurveda is nothing, just jadi booty or the simple herbs, but no. Ayurveda just doesn't talk about only medicines, but it is a system of life. It talks about what is life, it talks about how you need to live, it talks about how you need to think, and once you do all this, every day you think, you do, you eat, you live, and still if you are affected with any illness, then it has given medicines to treat you. So I will be talking about unique selling points of Ayurveda. Today I am a brand ambassador for Ayurveda here, and if I have to be a marketer, marketing person for Ayurveda, then yes, I am going to talk about the few unique selling points which are not aware, and here we are going to highlight about that. Yes, that's me, and my topic today is Ayurveda, ancient intelligence for modern world. People think, okay, Ayurveda is very ancient. How can it be good or normal for today's days? Because many things have changed. The air has changed, the quality of air has changed, the quality of food has changed, our lifestyle has changed. Yet, how it can be done? Some principles in Ayurveda are applicable forever. Diet has changed, I agree, air has changed, the thought process has changed, our lifestyle, many things have changed, but yet the principles to remain healthy will remain the same forever. So we will try to explore all those points here, and yeah, the previous slide. A very important statement here, if you can see, not just adding years to your life, but life to your years. Let us not make it very boring where I speak and you listen. Let us make it a little more interactive. Let me understand what is your understanding about this statement, because I really loved it. When I put it over here on my first slide, imagine the impact it can create. So what is your understanding about this particular statement? Not just adding years to your life, but life to your years. Please come up, whatever. See, it's a very close and nice group. Let us interact and try to understand. Wonderful, wonderful. Yes, the whole thing summarizes. Anybody else wants to add any point? Perfect, perfect. Yes, and exactly, exactly. Enjoy the journey altogether, right? Any more points, please? Anybody wants to add anything here? Exactly, quality of life. Rather than the quantity, quality of life. Because today we are in a race wherein we are thinking about what is the lifespan. Of course, lifespan of a human on an average is supposed to be 100 years. And yeah, we're trying to achieve that. But with the modern technology, with the other systems wherein many diseases, even the COVID which has happened, we could overcome that, right? Yes, but then in this journey we have to understand whether we have improved the quality of life. Quantity, yes, we have improved. Initially maybe because of some mishaps people used to die at the age of 60, 50, 40, whatever. But then yes, now because of these kind of technologies we can actually prolong. But then here the point is what Ayurveda talks is not just the years to life, but the quality, as you said, but life to your years. Whatever we are living, whether we are living it happily, whether we are satisfied. And if I have to talk about a bit of spirituality here, it's not only about the physical health. The ultimate aim of our life is reaching moksha, right? That part, whether we are really able to achieve, is what Ayurveda talks about. Next, yes. Why Ayurveda? Why now? Anybody? Let us not read the things down. Why Ayurveda and why now we are talking about it so much? Thanks to Modi ji and other leaders who have actually started propagating so much about Ayurveda. And COVID was a big boost for us. Otherwise, it was a very depressing stage for us wherein we were ready to talk but people were not ready to accept Ayurveda. Yes. So, why Ayurveda and why now? Your points. What is your say about it? Wonderful. Yes. Very true. And? Very true. Yes. Anybody?
So Ayurveda, we can achieve the natural way of living.
Correct.
Nature, we can connect to Ayurveda through nature. And also we can also know the inner conscious to Ayurveda through its yogas.
Very true. Exactly. Very true, very true. We all know the story of the hare and the tortoise, right? They were in a race, always trying who wants to reach the first. Of course, has its own pace, but the hare just runs and tries to reach the destiny. But in the process, it forgets, it gets tired because it starts really fast and then takes rest. And the tortoise, which goes very slowly and steadily, reaches the goal early. Similarly is our picture now. We all are in a race. सुबह उठ के रात तक क्या करना है? यही thought. We are not living in the presence. How many of you all brush your teeth with mindfulness? Whether I am applying the brush properly, whether I have taken, each and every part of my, gums is clear. How many of us? Hardly anybody. Until and unless we really think very strongly that yes, I need to practice mindfully. These are very basic things, very small things, right? Now I'm talking to you, but then there is a thought, yaar, aage, after 1.5 hours, what am I supposed to do? I have so many considerations. You may be thinking, मैं gas पे खाना रख के आई हूँ, whether it's ready, whether it will be fine, whether it will be cold. So many things. We are in a race. We are forgetting that, right? We are in a race, and here Ayurveda talks more about grounding. It talks to you about the basics that we need to follow throughout the day, throughout the life, with the season, so that you remain healthy, not only physically but mentally, totally. Further in the next slides, I'm also going to talk about the exact definition of health. So now is the right time wherein we are in so much of hurry. We want to progress. There's nothing wrong in progressing. Everybody, as humans, we have evolved because we wanted to progress. That's why we are different from the other animals. I agree progress is important, but in the journey of progress, are we maintaining our health physically and mentally is what we have to question ourselves. And how that can be done? That can be done by just understanding the basic principles of Ayurveda. Yes? Here it's about the rising stress, lifestyle diseases and chronic fatigue are the signals. We all know that. Modern health is reactive, Ayurveda is preventive and personalized. Usually, when do we go to doctors? Only we are ill. Chalo, today I am feeling good, I don't have to go. I have got a headache. Do we go to doctors? Generally no. ठीक है देखेंगे. I'm fine already, I don't have to go to a doctor for that. Next day it worsens. Again it worsens a little more, and when it becomes really bad, that is the time we go to doctors. So usually it is when we go to the doctors, it's like allopathy doctor, whatever, when we go, okay doctor, patient is come with a headache, I need to treat his headache. So what he'll do, he'll just give you a mild painkiller and send you across, right? That is how it is reactive. You have come with something, I give you something for that. But Ayurveda, see, please believe me, here I'm not at all putting down any other system down. I'm just talking about Ayurveda and its principles, the basic principles of what Ayurveda is. I'm a big fan of all the systems, and I totally believe in holistic approach, but because here I am representing Ayurveda, I'm just trying to put in the better points of Ayurveda here on the picture. So Ayurveda talks about prevention. Ayurveda, when a patient goes to an Ayurvedic doctor, like my approach personally, many of you all must have come to me as patients also, wherein when a patient approaches me, I get into the whole picture, why it started, how it started, what may be the reason, whether it is a physical reason, whether it is a stressful or a mental reason. Identifying the cause and treating it is our approach, and rather I would say it is more of preventive. Okay, patient आ गया, now the patient has come to me with an headache, and if I tell him अभी headache ठीक है आप bear कर लो, पर इसको कैसे prevent करना है? If I tell him, he'll hit me and go off. I've come with a headache, I want medicine, you please give me that first, and later maybe we will talk about prevention, right? So our approach is, when the patient comes, try to understand, give the medicine, but later we counsel the patient on why it must have happened, what may be the reason, and we equip the person in understanding what is the reason. Like how you teachers are responsible to equip the children with knowledge so that they can grow up, get into their professions. That is your responsibility as teachers. And my responsibility as a doctor is treat the patient initially and later equip him with an understanding what is the reason for prevention of disease and what is the cause and what changes can actually treat him, right? It restores your connection to food, nature, rhythm and yourself. We have forgotten that. We have forgotten that kitchen is our first medicine. All the ingredients in the kitchen is the first medicine. Later comes the other medicines, of course. We have forgotten. बहुत कम लोगों को पता है कि our kitchen has everything that can actually maintain our health. Luckily we are in India, at least we know a bit, but not other countries, not other places, they're not aware. And I would say the younger generation is more unlucky not knowing all this. So that's the reason we are taking all these initiatives to, make people understand that all this can be done and achieved. Next slide. What makes Ayurveda unique? So basically, Ayurveda's concepts are all rooted in the nature. We are a part of this universe. We are not different. We are a part of this universe, and when we are a part of this universe, whatever happens around will always have an influence on us, on our physical health, on our mental health. We have to remember that. Jo bhi ho raha hai. So everything is connected. That is now we spoke about this, and now the new term you must have heard about circadian rhythm, where everybody, right from every social media influencer or a nutritionist, everybody is talking about that. But this particular theory of you being in connect with the nature was there, established much before, and we have to just understand and get back to that. Considers body, mind, spirit, not just symptoms. We do not look at just the symptoms. When a patient comes with a headache or a body pain, we just don't look at the symptoms. There are many other things. These symptoms are just signals given by the body to tell you something. So we don't just look at the symptoms, we go behind that. What is happening behind the picture? That is what Ayurveda talks about. We talk about personalized healing based on your Prakriti. Now, let me ask you one simple question. You go to a shop, okay, and you just go around searching for your sizes of clothes. Does a small fit you all? I mean, like only one size fits everyone, or do you choose something else which is relatable to you all? Like there are medium, there is small, there is extra small, there is large, there is extra large, there is XXL. There are so many varieties, there are so many sizes. Why? Because we all are in different shapes and sizes. Some are short, some are tall, some are heavy, some are lean. So how can medicine be the same to everyone? Is what Ayurveda speaks about. Ayurveda speaks about uniqueness of a person. This is a very, very important, unique selling point of Ayurveda again. It talks about Prakriti. Each person is unique, each person is different. As teachers or as people we know, oh, this child is unique in this quality, this child is unique in this quality. We talk about qualities. But Ayurveda talks about Prakriti. There are 7 different types of Prakriti. Prakriti is nothing but a body type which talks about the physical, the mental status of a person. Just by looking at a person, we can identify, okay, हाँ भाई ये type of person है, he'll be like this only. You must have seen, some people are lean by birth, generally. Some people are really nice and healthy, chubby we call them, reasonably chubby. Some people are very frail, some people are red hot. So all different people, and this all can be categorized in a particular term called as Prakriti, and this Prakriti is formed during your birth itself. It cannot be changed, but you can change yourself and accommodate and do respective changes so that you don't get affected because of the changes happening around. So that's about Prakriti. Balances cause, not just suppresses effects. Here, as I said, what are the causes of the disease? We talk about it. We try to address that so that the result is very easy after that. Yeah. So, swasthasya swastha rakshanam aturasya vikara prashamanam. This is a Sanskrit phrase, very, very important in Ayurveda. Ayurveda says swasthasya swastha rakshanam means people who want to be healthy. Okay, we are not born with any illness. Generally, when we are born, now anomalies are there. Yeah, there are kids who are born with anomalies, I don't say no. But generally, we are born healthy, and in the process, because of n number of reasons, which we'll talk about later, we develop diseases. So, swasthasya swastha rakshanam means Ayurveda is a science which talks about health for people who really want to maintain good health, and aturasya vikara prashamanam. Aturasya means one who is diseased or one who is ill. For them, there is medicine. So Ayurveda is not only limited to medicine. It is a science to maintain your health, and in the process, if you have developed any illness, it talks about medicines. Yeah, next slide. So I just elaborated before, one size doesn't fit all. So what heals one may harm another. You must have seen, I mean, during COVID, let me talk about the COVID era, because we were so affected by all that, right? Mentally, physically, in every sense. So if you must have seen, there was such a trend कि हाँ भाई चलो ये कषाय बना के पी लो. అందరూ తాగారు. Everybody has taken ఇలైచి, లవంగాలు, అన్ని కిచెన్లో అన్ని ప్రతి ఇంగ్రీడియంట్ వేసి కషాయం చేసి తాగాం. But then, believe me, these kind of kashayas that were made and popularized, now also there are people who are talking ki you take this and you will be absolutely healthy. That is wrong. Each person is different, as I said. Such kind of things, when we talk about ki ye le lo, ye theek ho jayega, never happens. As I said, let me now just talk about basics of Prakriti here, just for your understanding. Vata, Pitta, Kapha are the 3 doshas. Let me just elaborate in short what is Vata, Pitta, Kapha, because that is what the whole concept of Ayurveda is dependent on that. So Vata is the wind element. And whatever wind is around us is the wind element, and the same thing which will show in the body. Simple. Now the air that we breathe, the movement that we do, the speech that we talk about, responsible is Vata. Pitta is nothing but the fire element, the sun which is outside. There's similar thing in the body which is responsible for digestion of the food, that is pitta. Kapha is the water element which is there outside. Similarly in the body we have areas where there is water, these joints are there which are very strong, which are lubricated, and we are able to move. So the whole concept is built around this vata, pitta, kapha, and the different permutations and combinations of vata, pitta, kapha produce the different 7 type of prakriti. In between, if you have not understood anything, you want me to elaborate, please let me know. So these are the 3 different concepts, vata, pitta, kapha, and the different permutation and combinations will do that. So what suits the pitta may not suit the vata and the kapha. What suits the kapha? Ante ipudu what, see now simple, water is there. Water is comparatively cool until and unless it is heated. The general nature of water is cool, stable. The general nature of fire is heat and burning. The general nature of vata or the wind is movement. So anything accordingly is okay, against will always suppress that. So now we talk about the kashayas that we took during COVID just to suppress the cold and the cough, and too much of all as lavangas and elaichis and cinnamon and all that we added. Basically they are spices which are very hot in nature, right? The moment you take too much of that, because it's almost fire kind of property, spices are more of fire. So when you take too much of that, it can cause a problem on your digestion, the pitta. People actually develop a lot of acidity issue. Now there is a general rule, people talk about drinking too much of water. Subah utho, 1 liter, 2 liters of water you take and your bowels will be clear. That is what is the general trend. The so called many systems, the modern doctors, the naturopathy doctors talk about this. It does suit few people, not all. There are people who have developed acidity related issues, there are people who have developed cold cough related issues, there are people who have developed obesity. That is, water element, if taken in excess by the water element person or the kapha person, naturally will create a problem. Now we talk about exercises. Do too much of exercise, work for 1 hour, 1.5 hours every day and you will be healthy is the general trend. But then if a vata person or the person who is dominating in this wind element does too much of exercise, kya hoga? Depletion of the tissues, or rather the person will become more lean and weak and more affected. He will develop more joint issues. Do you understand what I am trying to tell you? One advice doesn't fit all. Everything is very, very, very unique, extremely unique. When we can identify a child having unique qualities and accordingly grooming him for his education or profession, why can't we do that to ourselves? Of course, because we are not aware about this concept, and that is what Ayurveda talks about. So first step to maintain your good health is to understand what is your basic body type. Okay, if I have to give you a simple example for your easy understanding, of course it's not going to just happen like that you do it and you will understand what is Prakriti. It takes years of experience and practice. Let me just give you an example. I will put forth 3 animals in front of you. I mean, just give you an example. One is a dog, one is a lion, one is an elephant. If now whatever concept I have tried to tell you about vata, pitta, kapha, can you tell me what relates to which animal? A dog, a lion and an elephant. So what do you think a dog is dominant in which dosha? Please, anything, any answers from kapha? Okay. Anybody? Any more answers? Pardon? Elephant is water. Okay. Dog? Lion is fire. Dog? Wind. See, so easy. So easy. If you have seen people, now you make 3 children sit in the class. There are so many children in the class, your own children also. One may be a very stable person, one may be a too active person, one is too intelligent. आप उसको एक बार ऐसे बोल दो and it's there in his head. You don't have to tell him again and again. There's one child who keeps forgetting. He's very fidgety. He just keeps running around. There's one person who's so damn lazy. He just wants to sit and eat and sleep. So basic. Elephant is like that. Elephant no doubt is too intelligent. But if you see the physical structure of an elephant, it is stable, it likes to sit, it's a very heavy personality, right? Lives for long. The age span of an elephant is nearly more than 200-300 years, whereas a dog lives for just 16 years on an average, and a lion lives somewhere around 40 years. So Prakriti also decides your nature. Prakriti also talks about your lifespan. So you have understood how you can actually relate to the animals around you, the things around you, everything is all connected, right? Clear on this concept? So you have to now assess yourself. What is my Prakriti? How am I? What I like to eat? What is my nature? Whether I like to be, cool and calm, or whether I react just like that, or I keep changing. Whether I'm very fickle minded. I start off with something, but I forget about ending it and I'm just jumping off to something else. So that is how your Prakriti is decided, and once you know your Prakriti, you know how to balance it. What suits water? If I have to control water, okay, I have to give something opposite to that to balance it. If I add more water, the quantity of the water will increase, right? So what I have to do, if I have to maintain the quantity of water, I'll give it little heat, I'll give it little wind, so that the quantity is maintained. If it's the fire, if I give it more fire, if I give it more spices, if I give it more heat, what will happen? It will increase. If there's wind, and if I give it more wind, I give it more activity, what will happen? It will increase. Rather, I give something which is more soft, which is more oily for the vata, and for pitta I give it more coolant, so that it can be balanced. So once you understand what is your body type, what is your Prakriti, accordingly you can do changes. If a Kapha Prakriti person is there, he has to understand that he has to exercise for lifetime if he has to maintain good health. If it's a Vata Prakriti person, he has to understand that he has to keep applying lot of oil to maintain his joints. If it's a Pitta Prakriti person, he has to lifetime understand that he has to be very careful in his diet related to spicy food or getting exposed to hot things. Clear now? Very basic. So once you know this, the day-to-day changes in terms of your food, in terms of your diet, in terms of your thoughts also can balance everything. A Pitta Prakriti person is a boss. You go, there's a hall of people and there are few people who are shouting. Screaming, shouting, arranging everything, spick and span. That is Pitta. You can identify. A Kapha person will be there, last he is sitting or first he is sitting. He is not active, he is just in his own things. And one person who is there will keep going around the whole hall talking to this, talking that. That is Vata. So these basic things when you observe. See, there is 7 types of Prakriti when I talk about. It is Vata, Pitta, Kapha, single Prakritis. Then there is a combination of Vata, Pitta, Pitta, Kapha and Kapha, Pitta combination, and there is Tridoshaka Prakriti, the combination of all the 3 doshas. Very rarely we find these balanced 3 doshas, but it's more of dual Prakritis everybody is. And all these things are influenced by the day-to-day activities that we do. Prakriti remains intact, but you can actually mold it and make yourself healthy by understanding this. Clear on this point? Yes. Next. Agni, your digestive fire. Okay, tell me here let me talk about. Yesterday I had a very nice question from one of the parents. He was asking me, B12 deficiency is so common and rampant nowadays, and how do Ayurvedic doctors address it? Whether only tablets or injections are responsible. So what is your understanding? Why do we talk about so much of Agni or metabolic? Do you think if you are given the best quality of food and the most organic kind of food, will you remain healthy? Please answer. If I give you the best quantity of food, the best quality of food, and you are made to eat that for say 1 week, 10 days, will you become healthy? Right? Yes, very true. Not necessarily. Why you think it is like that?
We need exercise, we need other things
Along with the food, we need other factors also. Okay, so you believe that other factors are also responsible. It's not just the quality or the quantity of food, right? Here, That is what Ayurveda speaks about. Nowadays, gut health is something which is very, very highly spoken about. Everybody is talking about gut health. You protect your gut health and you will become healthy. Every social media, every big person, even Virat Kohli talks about it. I am taking this kind of diet to maintain my this gut health and all that. Ayurveda has spoken about it centuries or years ago. Agni. Agni is the fire which is there in the body, which is responsible for the digestion of the food. See, you have the best kind of food, the best quantity of food, the best quality of food, but if you are not able to absorb it, it is useless. The B12 deficiency that's happening today. See, we have been eating the same kind of food, and believe me, vegetarians, there are, once upon a time there was a larger group which was all vegetarians. Why all these were not there then? But now why? A question should arise, right? अभी क्यों हो रहा है? जो इतने साल वही खाना खा रहे थे, we used to do the same kind of activities, same kind of food. That time our our elders were comparatively healthy. Now why even a young kid of 10 or 12 is having this problem? That is because of the Agni, the digestion issue. And all again your Prakriti revolves around this Agni. What is your body type, and accordingly your Agni will vary. Okay. So weak Agni leads to ama, toxins that trigger the disease, and strong Agni brings lightness, strength and longevity. Okay, now when you sit for food, when you sit to eat food, how many of you all just sit and eat, or it's like you watch a TV or a mobile or you're talking? What's your general style of eating food? Please. All three sometimes, yes. Sometimes mobile, sometimes it's talking. Most of the times, right? Most of the times. Yeah, we are not having that, right? We want to, but then we don't. We know as elders we want to do this has this effect, everything, but we don't follow, right? But believe me, it's not only the quality and the quantity, how you eat, in what kind of state you eat also matters a lot. What is your status of mind? Imagine, there's a story saying a king had called all the people for a feast, and the best of the quality food was served. A big buffet was laid down and everybody was ready to have the food. Okay, and then suddenly a news was given ki some famous person has expired, or you have lost something, or some other kingdom has come to attack on you. Will you be able to savor that food? What will you feel? Now simple example, hum hi hai, we are having food, and suddenly we come to know that something wrong, or suddenly you get a call, okay, you have to finish this target, you have to finish this work. What will be your reaction? How do you feel? Will you be able to enjoy that food? No. Most of the time we don't. Until and unless we are not shaken, until and unless we are too sthita prajna that we call, until and unless, okay, no, I will not be affected with anything, we'll get affected, right? We will lose interest in the food, or we'll eat in a hurry and just leave. We're not happy. We will actually not enjoy the food. So, what is Agni? The Agni is nothing but the digestion capacity that is there, and many factors influence the quality of your Agni. Let me just check the time. Yeah. Many factors influence the Agni. In that, one of the factor that influences the quality of your digestion is how you are eating the food. Whether you are at peace or whether you are in a hurry. Most of us, we are in hurry. कुछ काम है नहीं है, फिर भी we are in a hurry, right? Either with the kids or with the office work, or just because we have to eat, we are eating. We do not know, we are not actually enjoying the food for our health. How many of us? Believe me, even I don't think, मैं जब खाना खा रही हूँ, I don't think it's for my health. I eat because I have to eat. I eat because I have to go to office, I have to finish this core and I have to rush. That's how it is. No, but we need to be very mindful. There are many factors which actually influence the quality of the Agni. In the process, I'll tell you what are the different ones, because if I start, it will take ages for me to explain. How is it next? Yeah. Prevention is the real medicine is what Ayurveda talks about. Dinacharya, Rutucharya, and Dinacharya is nothing but the daily regimen. Ayurveda has put up with some regular rules, like how we have rules in office, like how we have rules in school, or like how we have rules in a family. Yeah, the family has to run, he is the head of the family, she is the mother of the family, all that kind of hierarchy we have. Similarly, we have certain rules for a day and we call it Dinacharya or the daily regimen, which starts from early morning till late night, what you are supposed to do to remain healthy. So let me in short talk to you all about that, because it's very very important, the most important rather I would say. First is waking up early morning in Brahma Muhurta, because that is the time when you can actually get in maximum energy, because as I said, we are a part of the universe and it's all about exchange of energy, right? Exchange of energy, we get in lot from the nature, and for that waking up early in the morning is very important. And not only this, to keep your all these three doshas in balance, waking up early is very very important. As I spoke about circadian rhythm, in a day there are specific times where these doshas are dominant, and if we follow our diet and lifestyle according to those doshas, we maintain the health. When you wake up early in the morning, that is during Brahma Muhurta, that is 48 minutes before the sunrise, so usually it varies according to season, but in general if you can at least wake up by 5:30, that is a general time. That is the time where Vata is predominant, Vata dosha or the wind element is predominant, and when you wake up at that time, your passage of stools and urine is clear. Nowadays, as highest complaints of constipation and gastric issues, n number of people come to me saying I have gastric issue, I have constipation issue, I am taking 2 liters of water, I am taking all possible laxatives, still things are not helping me. That is because we are actually holding on to the stool which is supposed to go out. Vata is responsible for movement, Vata is responsible for elimination also. So when you wake up in the morning and body is in sync with the nature, the passage of stool, the passage of urine happens on time without any problem. So tomorrow your kid or people around you talk about these issues, please wake them up early. Very important, right? Similarly, after you wake up early morning, we speak about brushing your teeth mindfully again. After you brush your teeth, we ask the patients to do this Kavala Gandusha, gargles or so-called mouthwash, rinse with oil, very important if you want to really maintain good health of your teeth and also your digestion. Because, okay, let me ask you this question, what is your understanding about gut? What you think are the different organs involved in this gut? What are the organs responsible for digestion? What is your understanding? As doctors we know, we speak even, we speak a lot on that. What is your understanding? Fiber is required. No, my question is, what are the organs involved in digestion? Intestines and stomach and liver, yes. कहाँ से शुरू, कहाँ से खत्म? Mouth. Wonderful. From one end of the gut, we speak now. This is one end of the gut, and your anus, or from the area where you pass your stool, is the second end of the gut. That's why when we say I am laughing from the other end of my gut, is what, like a joke we speak. So imagine the importance of your mouth. That is also responsible for your digestion. So when you do this mouthwash with oil or coconut oil or pill oil, or there are so many medicated oils available, best is use coconut oil. Every day once you brush, just take 2 to 3 spoons of that oil, put it in your mouth, rinse it for just a couple of minutes, throw it out. It just cleanses your teeth, makes it healthy. So the first passage for your digestion is cleansed and taken care of. I am going to relate your digestion with your regular rituals. So I will be going back and front here. Please bear with me. So now you understood what is the importance of your mouth. See, until and unless you don't feel the food is tasty, you will never enjoy it. आपके सामने best खाना लाके रख दो, 5-star का खाना, but if it's not tasty, will you enjoy it? You need to feel that it should be tasty, it should smell good, it should look good. When it feels good, that is the time you will have food properly and actually you'll enjoy. So when you wake up, once you brush your teeth, when you clean your mouth with oil, it will maintain the health of your mouth. Second, after you clean your mouth, then is the Ushapana, we call it. Drink 1 glass of water. What Ayurveda spoke was Anjali. All our pramanas were not in grams and liters and centimeters and meters. We had our different pramana that time. So it was all about Anjali, and then if it was the liquid, it was in terms of Anjali, and if it was the length, we used to take it in terms of fingers. Each person has different length again. Ikkada issue vastunda? Okay. So now my 4 phalanges may not match your 4 phalanges, right? So we used to take the length in terms of apne phalanges, apne measurement ke liye. Ajanubahudu endukane vallu? If you have heard the term, Rama is supposed to be called as Ajanubahu. He was so tall and he was so huge. That is how the measurements were. So we spoke about water in terms of Anjali. Anjali is nothing but your hands when you are put together, what is the quantity in that. So 1 Anjali was the water that was indicated. How much are we drinking? We are drinking in liters. Either 1 liter, 2 liter, half liter. When patient comes to me and I ask him, how much do you drink? Hey doctor, I drink so much. I fill 2 bottles and I keep drinking that. But then when you do that, again the pitta that is there, as I spoke about, pitta is nothing but the fire element, and when you compensate it with water, what happens? The pitta is pacified. Fire ke upar pani dala to kya hoga? You are cooking, you are somewhere out and you have to cook on a, wooden logs. What will you do to stop the fire? Put water or mud, right? So similarly, when you are drinking too much of water, you are actually diluting your juices. You are basically, forget about the juices, I will not speak in that language, I will speak in language of Ayurveda only, Vata, Pitta, Kapha. When you are drinking the Kapha or the water element, you are pacifying the Pitta element. It is needed. It is needed, but only in Anjali format. So hardly 100 to 120 ml. Of course, again Prakriti wise it will change. If you are a very dry person, you may need a bit more than the Kapha person. But on an average, if I have to say, 1 Anjali, which comes to around 150 ml, that is enough. After you drink water, you can actually start exercising. By the time we do all this, you come into the Kapha Kala around 6:30. By the time you finish your nature calls and everything, it's Kapha Kala which starts at 6 o'clock. Kapha again, as I said, is a wind element, and if you don't exercise during Kapha Kala, there's high chance of increasing the Kapha element in the body, which is responsible for your weight issues, which is also responsible for your digestion and imbalance. So what happens is, many people, they wake up only at 9 o'clock and then they start exercising. So they are not exercising according to the doshas, and that is where the imbalance happens. So whatever you do, doing is not important, doing also is important, but in sync with the nature is more important. This is the main takeaway. You have to understand. People come to me and they say, doctor, I go to the gym, every day I hit the gym, exercise for 1 hour. What time? At night. Where you have to relax, that is the time you are actually activating your body. So naturally there will be imbalance again. So after you exercise, what Ayurveda talks is, after that apply a proper Abhyangam. Abhyangam, there is an importance, we call it Abhyangam Acharet Nityam. Abhyangam is a procedure where we apply medicated oil or normal oil, whichever is there. The best is sesame oil, til oil or the nuvul noone. Every day apply it on the body. Because skin is again Vata. Skin is a part where too much of wind. See, first effect of the change in climate will be reflected where? Is on your skin, right? So if you have to keep Vata dosha under control, the best thing is do Abhyangam. Abhyangam Acharet Nityam. Every day you have to apply. Takes just 10 minutes. You don't have to go and do a rigorous kind of a massage or something like that. Doing that is very, very good, no doubt. But if you can, at least apply oil. Very important. And the best part is compulsory apply it on your ears. Basic, the most important element of Vata dominance. Apply on ear, apply for the whole body. And there's one more procedure, we call it Nasya, wherein we have put medicated oil or even simple till oil in your nose. Very, very important. The best treatment. People having hair issues, graying issues, memory related issues, cold, cough related issues, anything and everything is taken care of with Nasyam. Every day early morning, just 2 drops. That's a miracle. You can actually see. Because Nasahi Shirasodwaram is one concept in Ayurveda where if you have to reach your head, nose is the only route. There is no other route because it is all totally covered with a skull, such a hard skull. We need a saw to cut. If you have ever seen any brain surgeries, they actually have a saw which will cut the logs, no? It's that hard. Only way which we can reach head without any mechanical intervention is through nose. So when you put this medicated oil through nose, it will actually reach your brain and all the activities, may it be your hormonal activities, may it be your general activities, everything is taken care. So just do this simple thing every day morning and evening after you brush your teeth, 2 drops, and at bedtime 2 drops. Put it in a nice clean dropper bottle, do that. After a month you will come back and tell me, doctor, I am absolutely fine. Your cervical related issues are gone, your sleeplessness is gone, your eye related issues are gone, everything is gone. One simple thing everybody can do. Perfect? So after you do oiling, take a nice warm shower. One important thing, okay, tell me, usually we take hot water bath, right? So what is your understanding about whether we should take hot water bath or whether we should take cold water bath? What kind of water should be used to wash your hair and what kind of water should be used to wash your body? Can anybody tell me? What's your understanding? Lukewarm water. Okay, what kind of water you use to wash your hair or head? Same. Cool or lukewarm? Hot. Okay. Anybody else? Any takes?
Cold water also very good. It ignites the cells.
Okay, great. Anybody else? Yeah, with weather we change. Right, exactly. With weather, with time, with mood, with necessity, we change everything. We are in a hurry, we'll take cold water bath. We are okay, ठीक है, time है, थोड़ा luxury के साथ बात करेंगे, right? You have to understand one basics here is when you take head bath, don't take it with hot water. Preferably, until and unless it's a too cold climate. Hyderabad is unlikely, we never had any cold. Now, last 5 years, we have never felt what is cold. It's always, cool, okay kind of climate. Never put hot water on your head. We have seen newborn babies being given lot of hot water bath. That's the biggest mistake we do. All our sense organs are basically present in the head. Imagine the most important organ, the brain, is present in the head. And if you give too much of hot water on the head, it will affect all your sense organs. Something new, right? Most of the people are not aware. General trend is, हाँ ठीक है गर्म पानी है, सर के ऊपर से भी गर्म पानी नहाएंगे. We tell our patients above the clavicle, ऊर्ध्व जत्रुगत, above the clavicle it should be always cool or room temperature, and below the shoulders it is your choice whether you want to take hot water. Remember this, very 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 important. And if you see any newborn, mothers, please guide them also not to give babies such hot water bath. What we do is we actually numb their brain. That's why usually grandmothers feel very happy. हाँ चलो बच्चा नहा लिया अभी सोएगा 1-1.5 घंटा it will sleep. That is because we have numbed them. We have totally numbed. That is wrong. So at such a young age we are causing problems. So when you have these kind of understandings, what Ayurveda speaks about, the basics, you will understand how to bring about the changes. Okay. So you have taken bath with warm water on the body and cool water on the head. Once you have done that, after that, sit in a proper position, wear very clean and nice washed clothes, have your breakfast without any trigger around. No TV, no mobile, no speaking, nothing. Mindfully. Because the whole digestion process starts actually not only your mouth, but if you have to think also from the eyes. The moment you see the food, हाँ ठीक है मेरा breakfast सामने आ गया, my eyes will send a signal to the brain, okay food is come, now I'm supposed to digest the food. Most of us what we do, we forget about everything. हम लोग कुछ देख रहे हैं कुछ खा रहे हैं. We don't even know how much we are eating, what we are eating, whether we are eating properly or no, and so many emotions come in. So treating a gastric problem is a big challenge. Basically, even if I'm an Ayurvedic doctor, I have a natural gut healing hub where I specialize in taking care of gut health issues, and I've realized how much ever I do, still there is a problem because there are so many causes again. हाँ भाई ठीक से खाना खाओ, ये एसिडिटी का मत खाओ, मसाला मत खाओ. We are talking all that. But then all these issues and factors are there, right? So you have to understand that. So once you're done with your breakfast, start off with your work. Of course, I didn't speak about physical activity, it's mandatory. Will we do one small activity now? Because I think almost 1 hour in the down line we are just sitting. Please stand. Small activity. Small activity. This is to activate your second heart. You know where is your second heart? Where? Calf. Perfect. Wow. I have a great, audience today. Very happy. Half my work is done. Your calf is your second heart. One heart which pumps the blood directly, but your calf, which is actually pushing the blood from the periphery towards your heart. So what we'll do is we'll try to stand on our toes. Yeah? We will just raise up and down. And if you still want to activate your upper body, you can stretch your hands up, hold it up, try to reach the sky. Wonderful. Up and down. Up and down. Up and down. Stretch should be really high. You should reach the sky. Try to reach. Yes, yes, yes. Up and down. Up and down. Up and down. Please have a seat. Doesn't this look very simple? But we don't do it. We don't do it. We know that we are supposed to do, but believe me, each and every part of your body moves when you do this. It's not only to your heart, but when you're raising your arms up, the whole upper body, when you're actually trying to stand on your toes, the whole lower body, so much. Even if you're a working woman, even if you're a teacher, even if you're a IT professional, whatever, even if you're a homemaker, please take time to do this. Every 1 hour, just 10 to 15 stretches, both the hearts are taken care. Isn't this simple? Please, will you follow this? I think everybody, it's too easy. And if we can put an alarm, if you remember, well and good, give little activity to your brain. If not, at least put an alarm and try to do this. Exercise plays a very, very major role. It influences everything. So exercise is important. Having lunch along with the sun is very important. Ayurveda talks about actually 2 meals. Let me here clear the just 10 more minutes, and after that we'll have a small question answer session. I know this will otherwise prolong. There are so many more slides, but then yes. Meal timings are very important. It varies with Prakriti, it varies with age, it varies with time also. Growing children need to have 3 meals because they need tissues. But as grown-ups, where our job demands more of sitting, 2 meals in a day is important, enough. Because see, input and output, when it is not balanced, that is when we start putting on weight issues. So input and output needs to be balanced, and for that, once you understand your Prakriti, say if you are Vata, if you are Kapha, 2 meals is sufficient. Elephant doesn't need it, eats only grass. If you have seen elephant, uska khana bahut kam hota hai, right? But if you see lion, it can eat even an animal. It eats only animals, I'm sorry. It eats only animal. It can only satisfy its hunger by eating an animal. Dog is okay, it's variable. Abhi kuch kha liya, thodi der ke baad aur kuch kha liya. It's like that. So even our Prakriti is like that. So accordingly we have to understand if you are a Kapha Prakriti person, eat 2 meals in a day. If you are a Pitta Prakriti person, please eat 3 times in a day. If you have seen that ad of Perk where that person doesn't get food and he or she turns something else, and the moment he gets food, he's fine. Similar, Pitta, you will understand, in a group of 4, you will see one person is ready to eat any time. 12 baj gaye aur khana nahi mila, he'll turn mad. Right? So it's like that. You have to understand your Prakriti and accordingly adjust your meal timings. So just because I talk about intermittent fasting doesn't mean you have to stop eating food. That will not suit you. Rather, it will cause more harm. So intermittent fasting is a very good concept. Ayurveda always spoke about it. 2 meals in a day. Have one in the morning at around 10-11 and finish your meal by sunset. That's what Ayurveda spoke about. Again, but there are exceptions. Pitta cannot stay without food for long. He has to have food, he or she. So you have to decide accordingly. So afternoon meal cannot be at 2 o'clock or 3 o'clock. Try to make it around 1 o'clock or 12 o'clock, the best peak time. After your food, what Ayurveda speaks, many people, they have their food and they just rush off to work. high work or too much of walking, मुझे अभी time मिला है मैं अभी walking करूँगी. You think it's right? How many people think walking is good option after food? What's your take on that?
No, exactly, but people just follow it.
And that's what I want to understand. I want to understand what is your general understanding कि खाना खाने के बाद walking करना चाहिए या नहीं? What is your understanding? हाँ. How much? Lot of walking, little bit of walking. Wonderful, great. Yes, many people, I have seen IT professionals who come to me as patients, they say, ma'am, that's the only time we get, so हम खाना खाते हैं और फिर एक लंबा walk के लिए जाते हैं. Wrong. Ayurveda speaks about Shatapauli, 100 steps. Have your meal, relax for 10 minutes, let the food settle down, and after that, just walk 100 steps. Not more than that. That is because again, you're disturbing the Agni. The whole, when you've taken the food, what is the prime function of the body is to digest the food. And once you start walking around or working or you're doing too much of intellectual activity, what happens is the blood rushes to the periphery. So your digestion is hampered. So avoid too much of activity, avoid all kinds of very important meetings post meal, at least for 1 hour. And after that you can get it. You plan it accordingly so that you are more relaxed during that time. Most of the people post lunch, abhi schools maybe post lunch they put them in sports activities which should be avoided. Very bad. Sports activity should be either early morning or late evening but not in the afternoon for the schools. Yeah, but because teachers feel that children become little drowsy and lousy after lunch, they put them into sports, but according to health it's not right. So preferably sports is best in the morning hours. So that's how lunch should be. After that, in the evening, people who feel hungry can just binge on some fruit. You can have some little fruit if you want to. But your dinner should be over by 6:37, in sync with the nature. Sunset and khana, ek hi time. Not after that. Beyond that, if you eat, there is no proper digestion. And sleep should be by 10 o'clock because 10 to 11 is a kapha kala. And when you sleep in kapha kala, the mind becomes very calm and cool and you get proper sleep. Most of us work till 10:30, 11, 12 and then we sleep. And that's why we develop a lot of sleep disorders because you are again sleeping in the vata and pitta kala. Vata is responsible for movements. Pitta is responsible for activity. That doesn't happen. That's why people suffer with sleep issues. So when you put your body habits and your daily habits in sync with the nature, in sync with the doshas, body regulates its actions. Clear? Next. Ama is a very, very important concept in Ayurveda, you have to understand. Very important concept. Okay, let me ask you one thing. If we have to cook rice or if we have to cook anything for that matter, what are the prime factors that we require? If I have to say cook rice, what are the things that we need? Water, fire, rice and container. Yes, yes. Right? If one of this is missing, what will happen? Will we be able to cook the food? If one of this is not of proper quality, will it be able to cook the rice properly? Say if I take 1 cup of rice, I add 4 cups of water. Will the rice will be cooked in proper rice form that we can eat? No. It becomes a porridge. If everything is right, the vessel is right, rice is right, water is right, but the gas that I use is very less, will it be cooking properly? Again it will become soft. If the vessel that I cook is a steel vessel which has a tendency to heat faster, will it cook properly? No. So there are all the factors, if they are proper, only then the rice is cooked properly, right? So ama is a concept which talks about incomplete digested food material. You have taken food, but something is missing. Either your digestion, your acids are missing, or your mental status is missing, or the quantity of water that you have taken is either less or more, or the mood or the place where we are sitting is not proper. So many factors are responsible for your digestion. One of that is up and down. What will happen is the food that we have taken is not being digested properly, and whatever nutrients we have to get is not proper. And once they are not proper, they accumulate in the body in different formats. Everybody knows about cholesterol. What is your understanding about cholesterol? What do you think is cholesterol? Okay, very true. And extra fat, yes, very true. Exactly, exactly. Now, what happens when cholesterol increases? The best thing that we see is heart attack. Many other things are happening which we are not even aware. Heart attack is the only thing which actually shakes us. Nothing else shakes us. Our movements, decreased movement will not shake us. Our liver health will not shake us. People say, if I write a report saying you have grade 2 liver, nothing shakes us. Only heart attack shakes us. That's why we think cholesterol is only related to heart. Cholesterol is fat or some foreign body which is accumulating in the body and blood vessels, which is decreasing the activity and the passage, right? So if I have to relate ama and cholesterol is similar. You have to understand that. The moment your food that you have taken is not digested properly, that forms a substance called ama, and in the general language that you understand is called as cholesterol, which accumulates in the body in different parts and cause health issues. Simple. I have kept a bucket of water, muddy water. I have kept it say for 3 hours just like that. What happens down is the mud settles down and the clear water stands up. Over the period of time I just leave it like that, the whole bucket will fill up with that mud, whatever. If I just keep the mud water and just keep removing the water and keep adding little more mud and little more mud, it will increase. अभी pipes भी होते हैं हमारे घर में भी, so many kitchen sinks and pipes and all, slowly they start clogging, right? Similarly in the body. So imagine the concept of ama is a very unique concept which talks about your food, your lifestyle, your emotions having an influence on your digestion, and once that is not digested properly, creating this ama and creating illness. So when a patient comes to us, okay, we assess what is the condition of the patient, what is the stage of the ama, and accordingly treat. Simple example. When you wake up in the morning, how do you usually feel? I mean generally, mostly. Some people feel very sluggish, some people feel active, some people feel okay. Some people, हाँ ठीक है, उठना है करके उठना है, अभी जाना है करके जाना है. So different emotions. Ama shows in a very typical form. See, because I want Ayurveda to reach everybody, I am trying to make it more simple. The day you feel very heavy in your tummy, उठ गए पर उठना नहीं है. I have to go to work but I am not feeling good, my tummy is feeling heavy, my stools are not clear, my tongue is coated. Have you ever observed your tongue in the mirror? From now you start observing. Our tongue is the mirror to our digestion, you have to understand that. The only mirror which talks about how your digestion and how your assimilation is happening. Okay, general tongue is comparatively pink, okay, but the moment ama sets in or your digestion is not proper, it becomes whitish or coated. How much ever you clean, we have this habit, हाँ ठीक है brush उठाओ, we don't even look in the mirror, we just brush, clean it and finish and walk off, right? That's our general trend that we do. But from now onwards, try to first observe your tongue, whether it is coated, whether it is clean, whether it is dry, whether it is ridged, whether it is having any ulcers. That's an indication of what is happening inside. That's a diagnostic tool. People ancient days didn't have all these blood examination and all that. This was our prime source of examination. A patient आया, पहले उसकी tongue देखो. We used to observe the tongue, see the physical features, see the eyes, skin structure, his hair, everything, and then assess the patient. Very important. This will never cheat you. At least blood test may cheat you because lab to lab they may vary. But then body will never cheat you. What is happening, it will show you clearly. So ama, first symptom is you feel very heavy in the body. Your tummy is very heavy. You feel kind of very thirsty sometimes. How much ever water you take, you feel it's not enough. Okay, mind is not very clear, very foggy. When these kind of symptoms set in, they are the symptoms or the signals given by the body. हाँ भाई देखो मेरा digestion ठीक नहीं हो रहा है. Be careful. If you have eaten late, if you have slept late, you have not eaten properly, or you are emotionally very disturbed, or you have taken too many things together beyond the quantity, body will give way. And if you want to treat your ama, first thing is, if you feel any of the symptoms, just stop eating for some time. It may be 1 meal, 2 meal, you can skip that because it needs to be digested. And that can be digested by the fire only, by your innate fire, your digestive capacity. So first thing, when a patient or you yourself, when you feel the body is heavy, don't feel like eating, or you're feeling very sluggish, heavy and foggy, avoid 1 meal, just fast or take very very light diet, then things are taken care. एक बार आपने वो clear कर दिया, so there is no chance of accumulation. All these cholesterol issues will not come. That is very important. That's the concept of ama. It clogs channels, creates heaviness, inflammation and fatigue, and Ayurveda clears ama gently through herbs, fasting and lifestyle. Very important. I am trying to give you very basic here. Through fasting, as I said, through lifestyle, exercise karo. That is very important. All these different things to clear. And simple remedy, if I have to tell you, whenever you feel indigested, take sunthi, dry ginger powder, half teaspoon or quarter teaspoon, add it in a cup of warm water and just drink it. Actually, very 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 good medicine. If you see our olden generation people, they used to have this allam murabba. సొంటి పొడి బాగా తీసుకునేవాళ్ళు, నొప్పులు వచ్చేసాయి అమ్మ సొంటి తీసేసుకో తగ్గిపోతుంది. బాలింతలు, పీపుల్ హూ డెలివర్, దే వర్ గివెన్ అ లాట్ ఆఫ్ శుంఠి. The sunti has this property to rekindle your digestive fire. One of the best drugs. Only the quantity varies according to your dosha. If you are pitta prakriti, be little careful. It is good. So hardly 2 grams or 3 grams is more than enough, not beyond that. Right? Clear? Next. Healing the mind-body network, extremely important. How important your gut is, equally important is your mind is. Both are connected. The moment we are sad, our digestion is gone for a toss. The moment our digestion is gone for a toss, we become very, what you say, moody, uneasy, angry, restless. When we see a restless person, we BP perigindile. Generally we say, whenever we see a very restless or an angry person, that is many multiple things are playing a role in this. So always, we see most of us, when we talk about digestion, we are mostly focused only on the quality and quantity of food. But you have to understand, one of the most important factor is your mind also, your emotions also. That's why they say, if you're angry, if you're sad, don't have food. Keep it aside. The moment you become stable, then you can eat food. What we do when we're feeling sad, we eat more. Very bad. That's why we put on these weight issues. The so-called obesity is happening because of that. Binge eating. We are sad and there is false craving in the body, and when we keep eating and eating and eating, and we end up with so many diseases. So emotions and your gut is directly connected. So always remember. So simple example is when you have to go for an interview, or you have to do a presentation, or you have to go for a very important task. How do we feel? Early in the morning, we kahin jana hai. First thing is a very, very funny kind of feeling in your tummy. Even kids, the moment they have to go and answer an exam, first thing they'll say, tummy pain, amma, I don't want to go to school, right? Because they're emotionally very stressed. They don't want to answer, they don't want to face. Similarly, imagine if your emotions can have such an impact, naturally what we think, what we do, what we speak also has an influence on the food and the digestion. That's why we say mindful eating is very important. When you're having your food, please avoid all these kinds of a thing. Of course, with kids, forget about kids, for us itself it is so difficult. And if we have to educate the kids, it's like yesterday for the Children's Day I had made a reel, it may not be very very possible for us ki bhai 3 meals, bachcho ko bina TV, bina mobile ke bithana has become a no nowadays. It is 1 meal, make like a club and make an activity. Okay, we will not speak, we will just eat. Once they get used to, and habit should be formed at a young age. For us, we are grown-ups, we understand, we can change. Kids, they just imitate us. So make it a habit, no TV, no mobile, no sad thoughts. Whenever you're having food, just calm down, do little bit of breathing, calm your mind, simple breathing. Just Anulom Vilom. I think all related to Aurobindo have this habit of meditation and breathing. Very, very nice. So every time you sit for your meal, simple inhalation and exhalation. And one more unique point I want to tell you today. So you just put your finger below your nose now, if you can just, and do inhalation and exhalation, and tell me which nostril is active. Which nostril? Ma'am, which nostril is active for you? If you are able to see. You can see the wind on one finger, if you can. Which finger? Right for you. Which is more active? Right, left, yes, right, left. Left people, whoever is active is feeling sleepy and drowsy already. People for whom right nostril is active is actually started feeling hungry or active. Simple. I'll talk about, you must have heard something about Ida and Pingala. Ida is Pingala, again related to nature. What is there? Ida and Pingala. Ida is Surya Nadi, Pingala is the Chandra Nadi. Your right part of the body is Ida, which is Surya, which is on the left is the Chandra Nadi. Liver, you remember, is responsible for digestion. Everybody knows. So the right is responsible for digestion. The moment right is active, it says, okay, you're active, your digestion is good. So before any meal, people especially having digestive issues, what they have to do is consciously close. If your right nostril is already active, no problem. But still, if you want, to be very careful with your digestion, close your left nostril and inhale and exhale 10 times from your right nostril. Very important. The moment you feel drowsy or sleepy in a meeting, very important meeting, I am not able to control my sleep, just activate your right nostril. You will become activated. That's it. If you have seen olden days, rishis and munis, they had these stick under their, they used to put it under their hand or under their arms. You have seen that stick? When they sit, all those rishis, they used to have that. That was to block these Idas and Pingalas. Actually. So when it is under the right, your right side is blocked. When it is under the left, your left side is blocked. And we have a very simple thing is, before your meal, activate the right, and it's bedtime, my right is active, just close the right, activate your left. Easy. Very simple. Anybody and everybody can do it. Just 10 or 20 breaths, consciously you do and see the difference. Follow it for 1 month and you will see the difference. Don't have to go to a doctor for simple reasons. Of course, that doesn't mean that going to doctor is wrong. The moment basic things when you're not able to handle, of course, doctor is there. They've studied for so many years, they're there to guide you and help you till it becomes a bigger disease. Okay. So this Ida Pingala thing is clear now? Very, very important. Yeah. So next. Yeah, food is your first medicine. Very, very important. As I said, I've been speaking on the same slides where food that you take, the thoughts and emotions, very important. So now there may be a question, many people think whether vegetarian food is good or non-veg is good or non-veg is bad. Nothing is bad, nothing is good. Everything is good. But what is your prakriti, at what age you are, what is your destination, whether it is more on to spiritual healing, then sattvic diet always helps. But if you are a rajasic person, you are a fighter, you have to do a lot of physical activity. If I tell him to eat sattvic diet, will it be sufficient for him? If I feed rice and dal and curd to a lion, will it be okay? A lion needs flesh because his nature is like that and he's a fighter. But a person who sits in the temple, does some spiritual activities, a Rishi Muni, he needs sattvic diet. So we have to vary our diet and accordingly see that your food becomes your medicine. Next. Yeah, just previous slide. Very important concept Ayurveda speaks about is Viruddha Ahar, which not everybody is aware. Viruddha Ahar is the incompatible foods or the different combination of foods. Okay, tell me, what do you think milk and rice and salt combination, is it good or bad? Generally? Bad? Okay. Great, but many people I have seen personally, when kids especially don't like spicy foods, so the best thing, milk is always there at home. So just they mix the rice with the milk and for taste they will add salt. Many people, bad combination. Okay. Next question is, do you think fruit salad is a good combination or a bad combination? How many of you all like fruit salads?
Fruit salad is
Custard, fruits with the food. Fruit salad is the fruits with the sweet where we add the custard powder and all that. What do you think? It's good or a bad thing? It's
not good with fruit, adding with butter.
okay. He says it's very good. He likes it. Wonderful.
It's bad for the sugar that you add.
Okay. And And anybody else wants to add? Okay. There's a concept, as I said, viruddhahar or incompatible combinations of foods. Fruits when taken independently are good, but if you have seen milk, milk when combined with any other thing always has a reaction until and unless they are both. Milk is more of an alkaline nature, but the moment you add acidic things to milk, it becomes a bad combination. That's why fruit salad altogether is not very good. If you add banana to milk with similar properties, then it's okay, but not on a regular basis. Milk always taken independently. If you have seen milk when we boil, we are very careful with the vessel. We see that we clean it, we keep only one vessel for the milk. जिसमें हम दाल सब्जी बनाते हैं, in that vessel we don't boil milk, because milk actually reacts very fast with its nature. This is with milk. So fruit salad, fruits with food, bad combination. Even fruit with food is bad combination. Many of us have this habit, खाना खा लिया चलो फल खा लेंगे. An apple a day doctor keeps the doctor away is our general tendency. We will have food and then we'll have apple or whatever seasonal fruit. Bad. Because food has a different digestion time, and fruits have a different digestion time. Fruit digests within an hour, whereas food takes minimum 2 hours. And if with that, if you take flesh, that is non-vegetarian, that takes more than 3 hours to digest. So if you have combined 3 things together which are not able to digest at one time, naturally it creates gases. That is the time when we develop this gastric issue. One more combination is non-veg with curd. Again, as I said, bad combination. And then viruddhahar is not only compatibility of food, but even the time. Like in winters, taking very cold things. Virya viruddha, kala viruddha. There are so many viruddha. So many rules are there. But I'm just telling you that be careful what you are combining. Very important. So basic in day-to-day activities, don't try to add milk with other things. Take it independently. Clear? Next. Lifestyle diseases need lifestyle solutions. Now if you have seen obesity or PCOD or so-called heart disease or so-called autoimmune conditions, they are all so-called lifestyle disorders. Even your hypertension, diabetes. अगर lifestyle disorders को मैं दवाई के साथ treat करती हूँ, is that enough? You come to me as a diabetic patient, you come to me as a hypertensive patient, I give you a pill and I send you and I say, okay, this will take care. Temporarily maybe it is taking care, but do you think that is the right thing? Exactly. When it is a lifestyle disorder, our responsibility is to correct the lifestyle also. You have to, again, as I said, understand the cause, why it's happened. If lifestyle disorder is happening because of our food and lifestyle, we need to correct that. Pill is not the solution. Pill is only a temporary solution. Take the support of the pill, control the things, but change your food and lifestyle. What is the cause of the disease? We have to treat that. So as I said, lifestyle diseases need lifestyle solutions. So don't be for, this quick fixes kind of a thing. Put in little efforts, of course, needed. It may be sounding a bit harsh initially ki why should I be changing when one pill is able to take care of everything? Why should I be doing this? If you have seen abhi BP बढ़ रहा है, 2 महीने के बाद थोड़ा और बढ़ा, what will do? I'll increase the strength of the medicine I'll give you. There comes a time where nothing works. That is because we have kept neglecting the signals given by the body. Every time body ने बताया बढ़ रहा है, नहीं चलो ठीक है दवाई ले लो. We have not done any changes. So that's what Ayurveda talks about. Not suppression, not one pill, not one plan for all. And healing begins with your daily decision. So Ayurveda doesn't treat symptoms, it rewires your life. Next. Ayurveda is eternal yet relevant. That is because circadian rhythms, gut health, mental health all align with Ayurvedic wisdom. And it's not old. Everybody thinks Ayurveda is very old, but it is timeless. It may be old, but it is timeless. It is still relevant. If you have understood what I have spoken for almost 1.5 hours now, on the same things that it is relevant now also. Modern times have not changed anything. Only we have to understand. Our journey should be a bit inward to understand, and it's solved. Next. So it's simple daily habits. As I said, wake up with the sun. All this we have already done. Next. Conclusion, coming back to self. Ayurveda brings you home to rhythm, to joy and clarity. And it's not about being perfect, but about being in alignment. Now what we do, many a times, मैं करूँगी तो पूरा एक्सरसाइज करूँगी, नहीं तो नहीं करूँगी. Either I go to gym and I do everything. I work out for 1 hour, or if not, chalo theek hai. I'm not going to do anything. But that is not life. In this journey, as I said, doing it consistently, doing it every day with a step, making it a habit is very, very important. That's very, very essential. So that is what Ayurveda talks about. These small changes of dinacharya, ritucharya, daily habits that I've already spoken about. Ritucharya is your seasonal regimen. Now is the winter season, so there are many things. You're leaving. Yeah, please, please, please. Sure. So seasonal regimens, now winter has come up, so Ayurveda talks about different things that you have to do in this particular season, like regularly applying oil, going out in the sun, having a lot of ghee. You must have seen in this particular season, from now on, we start eating little heavy foods. We start eating little ghee wala khana. All the festivals that start, we talk about getting more exposure to sunlight. And now if you have seen amla, the elixir of life, we talk about amla a day, apple a day keeps the doctor away. That's an outdated statement, I believe. And amla a day keeps the doctor away, in true sense. And believe me, I'm going to have a session next Saturday. You can join me in this webinar. It will be an online webinar. Please join me in that, where I'm going to talk like a Wikipedia, total information about amla, not just the vitamin C part, but there are so many other things that you need to understand. How good amla is, how in different ways it can be taken, and how each prakriti, each body type can take it differently. So such changes, now if you have seen in this particular season in Kartika Masa, we have this Amla Navami, where we go under people go for Vanabhojanam in this season. Vanabhojanam is not going under and sitting under any other random tree. Actually, it was a ritual to sit under an Amla tree, making different delicacies with Amla and savoring them. That was made with a reason ki we keep forgetting. However good they are, we keep forgetting. That's human nature. But when we do these kind of festivals or these kind of rituals, we actually remember them. And once we remember them, we start following them and pass it on to the next generation. So Amla Navami falls in the season by the time, because Amla come in the season, the richest source of vitamin C, as I said. And the best supplement to maintain your immunity and health and everything in this season. So that we have to have. So yeah, this is a science guide. Let this science guide your everyday life. Ayurveda doesn't give you a new life. It reveals the life that was always yours. I'm not going to teach you anything new here. I'm nobody to tell you. I'm just telling you what is there in yourself, just to understand and keep them in sync with the nature and follow them. That is what all is about Ayurveda. Next slide. Next slide. Yeah. Thank you, and if you have any questions related to what was there, there's so much to talk, so much. I keep, putting all my efforts to talk about Ayurveda every day. There's so many concepts which I'm not able to cover, but these are the basic concepts that every person has to understand. So if you have any question related to any of this, you can ask me, and also providing you with a feedback form, how you have felt. Please give your feedbacks about the seminar. Yeah, please, please. Water. Yeah, again, see, beautiful question. Everybody has this question nowadays. खाना खाने वक्त पानी पीना है, खाना से पहले पानी पीना है, खाने के बाद पीना है या नहीं? Nice. You have to understand. I'll answer all the three questions. If you have seen our Hindu rituals in all the pujas, generally before the meal, we say Keshavaya Swaha, Narayana Swaha, and then little bit of water we have, and then we are supposed to start with the food. That's a general ritual. So having water before the meals in just sips is very important. Say if a person is very thin and lean, whose digestion is bad, 1 hour before the meal he can have, but not just drink water and start the meal. That is bad. But people who are pitta, in such conditions, people who are vata, who are very dry in nature, you can just have little half cup of water, clean your mouth so that all your taste buds become clear and active, and start having the meal. During the meal, many people say khana khante waqt pani mat piyo. Most of the people feel that. No, Ayurveda speaks about you have to take little water when you're having your meal. Very important. That is because it helps in proper chewing, proper mixing and proper digestion. After the meal, what Ayurveda talks about is, post the meal, kapha is dominant. So taking water immediately after meal is not right. At least give it half an hour, 40 minutes, and then drink 1 glass of water. But again, as I said, exceptions are there. If you feel too thirsty, you can just sip for water. Rules about drinking water. If I have to say, I can give 1 hour lecture for rules of water. So much. It's not me. Ayurveda has written chapters and chapters. What are the qualities of water, when it should be taken, how it should be taken, what vessels change it, what mentality changes, what prakriti changes, everything. So post meal, if you're feeling too thirsty, sip of water. Not too much water. After 1 hour, after half an hour, you can have. Pitta prakriti person, if I tell him don't drink water at all, he'll come and hit me. Because Pitta people need water. Vata people need water. Kapha people, they forget to drink water. Because body doesn't need it. It's already, there's a lot of water element in the body. So you have to, again as I said, uniqueness of the body type and things change. Right? Sip by sip. As and when required. Not too much, not too less. Moderation. We make it habit. Drinking too much of water also becomes a habit. Now babies are there. For them, chewing the food is a big boredom. They are always ready to go and play. So what they do is they just gulp with the water. And then it becomes a habit over the period of time. So there you have to break their habits and tell them as and when needed, sip of water. So just 1 glass, very little. You can have your buttermilk also. Yeah, wake up in the morning. Yeah. As I said, Anjali, as I said, around 150 to 200 ml is needed, ma'am. But again, if you are Vata Prakriti person, wherein there is too much of dehydration, slightly go up to 250 ml. And there is no rule saying that you have to have water at a time. You can always take it in what you say, broken quantities. Take now, then after some time, drink little more as in when your body asks. Yeah, next question. What are the different career options? Ayurveda doctor. First thing, you become an Ayurvedic doctor. You can become an entrepreneur. There are so many options. Ayurveda nutritionist is something which is actually most happening thing now. Most happening because people are going towards Ayurvedic nutrition. As I said, gut is somewhere, gut is the only thing which is responsible for all the diseases. Everything, anything and everything except for the accidental cause. So nutrition option is there. You can get into pharmaceuticals again, prepare your own different medicines or get into cosmetics or again diet related to Ayurveda. Lot of scope. You can come to meet me personally, sure.